Hello, welcome to DXB Crypto. I hope you are having a lovely day. And this is the most anticipated AMA of the year, bar none. I have two wonderful guests, guys that are leading the DeFi space, in the layer two space. Two people that you've been requesting to meet for a very long time. Enrico, the founder and the current leader of the ML ecosystem, Mintlayer, and Zaid Ismail, our good friend from Atomiq DeFi. So, guys, a very warm welcome. DXB Crypto is the unofficial home of Mintlayer and soon to be Atomiq DeFi too, because we do talk about a lot of Atomiq DeFi. So great to have you on board. Please introduce yourselves to the community, and yeah, let's get it going, guys.
Thank you. I'll let you start, Enrico.
Okay, yeah. So hi everyone. Thank you for being here. Thank you for hosting us here. Yeah, I started Mintlayer a few years ago, and I'm in the crypto space since 2012, and passionate about Bitcoin mainly. I'm not really into DeFi. I'm mostly into Bitcoin, and yeah, I worked for Bitfinex in 2016. Worked on the Tether team, and yeah, at some point I decided to start my own project, and it turned out to be Mintlayer. Yeah, so I think we will explore that during the rest of the episode. All right, Zaid.
Fantastic. Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm Zaid here, founder of Atomiq DeFi. I My background was in corporate management and sales. I was raised in New Zealand. Um, Spent my life all over the show, all over the world. But about just over a year ago, I got into crypto in 2017, early 2017. I've been dabbing in the space for some time. I got in. At first, it was more. It was the year of ICOs, and so I was having fun with getting into all the new projects at the time. But what I had found myself doing was actually consulting a lot of startup founders because they were very ambitious, but they didn't have a backbone to how to maintain or build sustainability around their business models. And so I started consulting other projects and other founders in the space, met thousands of people now along the way, attended hundreds of conferences in blockchain. And just over a year ago, I met Enrico over a phone call, got along really well. I was in Japan at the time, and one thing after the other, I ended up moving over to Dubai to serve as COO, Chief of Operations at Mintlayer. And long story short, I'm now founded Atomiq DeFi, Mintlayer's first incubated project. I've got the support of Enrico, who's now a very, very good friend of mine, and so we'll tell you more about that journey and why Atomiq was born. Thank you.
Fantastic introduction, guys. That's really, really exciting. If I can go back to Enrico. Enrico, could you take us back to your US Tether days and your early Bitcoin days as well? Because that's actually quite fascinating.
Okay, so well, I discovered Bitcoin pretty early. I started mining with my computer, and back then it was still possible, right? And I remember it was, I think, 2012. I got my first ASIC at home. It was like a box like that. It was doing a lot of noise. And I remember the difficulty of Bitcoin. Maybe I'm too technical. I don't know, but it was going up so high that if the first day was mining like half a Bitcoin per day, the last after a month it was just doing nothing. It was just a heating box basically. So yeah. Back then I was in London. Actually, I was working in London for a science company. Yeah, so fast forward at some point, I decided to move. I'm a software engineer, right? So was working for this company. I always worked on this field, and I saw that Bitfinex was searching, so I met Paolo in London, and yeah, I jumped in. I loved the team, and I spent a couple of years with them. It was a very nice experience.
Fantastic.
One of the things that I worked on was to take Tether from being a single chain to multiple chain, right? So that required some changes in the infrastructure, etc. And one of the point was the ERC20, right? So the first obviously was Ethereum. So I helped writing the ERC20 smart contract, and I kind of felt guilty for that, in the sense that as a Bitcoiner, I love the idea of having we were talking about colored coin back then from on Bitcoin, right? And there were many projects. One of the they had a lot of problems, right? Technical problems, and so I decided to design something that will take tokenization back to Bitcoin, and that's why Mintlayer was born.
Fantastic. I mean, the reason I asked that question is because often, again, just being on the front lines, the crowd would really appreciate both of your experience as we navigate through what is arguably, in my opinion anyway, the biggest bull market, the biggest generational wealth event that we've had in recent times. And it's just good to know the people at the top know what they're doing. And I think that's why I wanted to take that question, because I really wanted to explore and let these guys hear firsthand. Oh yeah, these guys are former this, former that, doesn't cut it. So from the horse's mouth, that's fantastic. Now, the interesting bit, guys, we're gonna get to your questions. I can see a lot of you coming in now. This is gonna be rocking. We actually, I kid you not, we wanted to vibe with these two industry leaders, and the reason for that is through this connection, we'll be able to understand small bits at the time. We may not cover everything today because I can see tons of questions, but this is the start of a beautiful journey. And at the end of the day, I've always said in my videos, ML with Atomiq now is one of the few remaining 100x opportunities. And I'm going to stick to that. And as we go through, I'll go back to actually Zaid. Let's talk about Atomiq DeFi for a minute, because I have something interesting here. And again, I discovered this a while back, but this is the initial incubation of Atomiq, raising a fantastic sum in a seed round. How did this come about? Was this an idea to actually increase the number of projects on ML, or was this something that you guys had planned for a very long time?
Yeah, no. So, when Mintlayer went to mainnet in late January, the mission was to build the ecosystem, the Mintlayer ecosystem, and that is incubating projects, new projects that are aspiring and looking to bring meaningful impact to the Bitcoin economy. And so, first we looked at internally, what do we need to really bring Mintlayer's core technologies to the masses, and how do we deliver that? And do we go and develop products internally that are consumer facing, or do we have very dedicated teams, founders, and resource that are going to bridge that Mintlayer technology and protocol to the general consumer? And so it obviously was a no-brainer that we have to, excite citizen builders, developers, entrepreneurs to come and get involved with us. And there's no better way than to spearhead that and lead by example, as they say. And so Enrico at the time gave me a nudge and said, Zaid, you understand this business really well. Obviously, being COO of the company, I was involved in all the conversations at high level with Enrico, from business development to technology to team management and all the things around that. And so he said, why don't you go and spearhead that first product launch? that tackles the most predominant or most important product suite that we need for the Mintlayer ecosystem to take that technology into the hands of the people. But it's just the beginning, because there's so much opportunity that that Mintlayer as an ecosystem and as a protocol opens up, and so it doesn't end with Atomiq DeFi, but it's just the beginning, and hopefully this product launch and this campaign is going to show the rest of the world, and that eagerness that Mintlayer has as an ecosystem fund and incubator to incubate more projects like Atomiq to go and build really cool things in the Bitcoin economy, maximize Mintlayer's protocol and its point of advantage, and ride a similar wavelength as Atomiq is at the moment.
That's amazing. I mean, one of the things I'm actually quite impressed by, and again, the community would agree with this as well, the consistency and the level of partnerships. Now, as you know, BTC Layer 2s is a hot competition. I just had a little snippet here. One of the arguments that I tend to make is when you have RWA, Layer 2 Bitcoins, and you've got something that can actually do a number of different functions, are there any big partnerships coming for both Atomiq and ML that the community can say? Because tokenization, there was a article released by Mintlayer a few months ago, even before the narrative took off, which actually refers to this anyway. How does Mintlayer and Atomiq DeFi play in this new space? Because you would have seen what's happening with BlackRock and Ondo and all of this RWA. Is the community looking at just BTC Layer 2? I call it a pickaxe, in the sense that these two projects can actually be DeFi, RWA, multiple narratives. I just wanted to take maybe perhaps Enrico, how you plan to develop this.
So I think that this is my personal vision, right? And I'm really passionate about real world assets. And the reason is I watched what happened in the DeFi space in the last few years. I was skeptical about DeFi at the beginning, but I noticed that there are a lot of interesting technology, right, that came out from this experiment. I call it an experiment, right? But at the end of the day, it's all about trading something that doesn't have any value, right? And there's nothing behind. There's nothing that reflect the real life, right? When you take the combination of real world assets and this technology, so it's just technology, and you combine them, then you have something that makes sense. So you have, for example, let's say that you are tokenizing a bond, or you're tokenizing shares of a company, right? So now you have something backing up the value, something that makes sense to invest and put your money in, and it makes everything more stable. You will not have, if you talk about traditional assets, right, you will not have 100x, because it doesn't happen. Oh, well, depends, but it's very unlikely that it happens in the real world, right? But it's more stable in the long term, is what pays off, right? And since I see Mintlayer as a very, it's a long, the idea is not to build something for the next 2 years, but something for, that will last. It's obvious that we need to find a way into the real world asset, because we want to have the combination of technology, but applied something that makes sense. I don't know if that is reflect it's understandable, but if you take the wall DeFi as a wall, right, and take what is behind, it's still just trading of tokens, and there's nothing behind, right? And works. I mean, it works, but then at some point it stopped working and collapse, and then you have minus 99% and so on. And so it's helpful for the whole ecosystem to find a way to take real world asset into the space. And it's not easy. It's not a technical problem. It's a compliance problem. But we are working on that.
We're getting there. I think. And Zaid, anything to add to that? I mean, just your thoughts on this whole. Because last few days we did have a pump on the back of the news, but the partnership between I think it was Ondo and OM for the tokenization of real world assets. Now with the ETF for Ethereum getting approved and tokenization moving ahead, how do you see Mintlayer and Atomiq DeFi's kind of place in that? Because I still think when I talk to the community, this is one of the few assets, again, with Atomiq there as well, that could actually fill a large gap in your portfolio. Because you want to move, crypto has become narrative driven, especially in this cycle. So where do you see Atomiq and Mintlayer playing in terms of the road ahead with tokenization?
Yeah, great question. Look, it's a synergy between Atomiq and Mintlayer. So, one of the core pillars that Mintlayer is working towards is building an institutional layer that enables enterprises and corporates and very sophisticated, owners and users of real-world assets to tokenize their assets on chain. Now, this has always been a pillar of the Mintlayer sort of go-to-market strategy in terms of its long-term positioning and the space that it wants to play in. You've heard from Enrico, his enthusiasm for real-world assets. It's an inevitable future. It's going to happen. It's just a matter of regulation and all that sort of stuff happening. But Mintlayer is investing in the UAE to go and research and become a thought leader in that space. We've the time that I was there as head of operations, we had recruited a general counsel in Dubai to investigate our avenues in the UAE and become a first mover in that market of real world asset tokenization, and how Mintlayer can be certified and can be the go-to protocol for that type of initiative. Now, the way that the synergy works with Atomiq DeFi is if Mintlayer becomes the adoption layer in terms of the tokenization layer or the institutional layer for corporates to come and tokenize their assets, then Atomiq DeFi and building that DEX will become the settlement layer for the exchange of those assets with Bitcoin. And Enrico and I share this value. We believe in a future where if institutions are going to tokenize their real world assets, they're going to want to trade it with Bitcoin. Bitcoin is the godfather of all crypto. It is the most trusted reserve. And therefore, if there's going to be any sort of exchange of asset or value with a real world asset, it's going to be Bitcoin first. And we want to enable that future through our DEX and Atomiq Swap technology, powered by Mintlayer. And so the idea is that DEX will eventually become the settlement, will not only be the layer of exchange between Bitcoin and general token assets on Mintlayer and other EVMs, etc., but also the real world assets that are going to be tokenized on Mintlayer in the future.
Fantastic answers, guys. I think, look, one of the things I wanted to do, let me just ask you, are we looking forward to any more partnerships? Because lately it's been quite consistent. And to be honest, looking through, this is where I normally just fetch my daily dose. Actually, while we're on this subject, can we talk about maybe the marketing behind the explosion of articles and really just keeping us up to date with everything that's happening with the two platforms? I have tons of resources now, more than ever. So maybe we want to just quickly talk about the new marketing manager, because I was really impressed by her resume. from ML's perspective? Enrico, perhaps you can take this one.
Well, maybe Zaid is more into that, but yeah, we're working on this ambassador program. The idea is to have, this pool of people that can help us growing in different region, in different, even sector, and we need more. We need a better, contact with our community, because actually we spent 2 years just coding, right, and mostly coding, and now it's time to. I think now it's time to do something on the marketing side as well. Do you have anything to add?
Yeah, absolutely. And look, this part is a priority, obviously, post mainnet. Uh, one of the investments is the resource and labor that we're bringing into the team. So the talent that's now entering Mintlayer and its business development departments and marketing departments is extraordinary. I think it's been a wonderful start with the most recent recruit being Mary, who's actually an ex-Binance ecosystem community builder. She was very involved with the BNB chain and an ecosystem of applications and projects that were built on BNB. And so she brings a wealth and a high caliber of experience in building communities. It was her idea to establish the ambassador program because it's one that she's led and developed in the past with other projects and seen and knows the recipe or the blueprint to success with it. So hopefully we're going to replicate that success at Mintlayer. And the idea is to develop an army of advocates that live and breathe Mintlayer and are from different parts of the world, from Oceania, right down under in Australia, New Zealand, to North America and the rest of the world. And so we've opened up this program to all demographics of all languages, and we're being very selective on sort of how we get that balance so that we do cover all regions and populations of the world. And the idea is that we have an extended family, an extended team who are going to preach Mintlayer and Mintlayer's evolution and Mintlayer's mission, and also help us incubate new projects on Mintlayer that will come and build with us and ride this Bitcoin future with us. So we're pretty excited about it. We're still in the midst of this program at Mintlayer. Atomiq is supporting this cause and is very much participating and wants to enable that ambassador not just for Mintlayer but for the Atomiq joint effort. And we're really we can't wait to keep growing it. And I think of course it's going to prove success, and when it does, we'll just continue on growing that family until we conquer the world.
Absolutely.
So it's just the beginning.
Brilliant. I mean, look, most of the again, investors are absolutely. So one of the problems I see, and again, it's something that I always address in the DXB community, is we are in a culture of here and now. I call it the McDonald's culture. Consume it on the go, and 90% of investors will know. Well, in fact, everybody knows if you would have bought last year and you would have held, you would have done much better than if you just bought something for 2 weeks. The life expectancy of a cryptocurrency in a wallet is no more than 2 weeks nowadays, right? What that does is people need to understand basically 80% of your or gains in a bull market will be made in the last 20% of the run. This is without a doubt. It happens to us all the time. I think I don't know if you've noticed, but the one crypto you sell is the one that does a 20x, 50x. Honestly, it happens every time.
Absolutely.
We can
All the
almost,
time.
like, Enrico's laughing because it is absolute facts. The one that you sell.
Never sold, so
Oh, you
it
never
didn't
sold.
happen to me.
You didn't have it. You're laughing at us. So what I was, the reason I'm saying that is I call for a lot of patience when it comes to conviction plays. And I just wanted you guys to give your experience, having been in this space for so long, that so many people can benefit from, in terms of how to actually trade this cycle. What would your advice be, Enrico, and of course Zaid, for our investors to actually see the returns that they need and not to be fickle?
Yeah. Look, in my experience, because I guess I sort of came into the crypto party when ICOs were popping off for the first time, and it was this exciting new method of raising capital, which is, so a lot came out that year. Unfortunately, a lot did not survive, and there were a lot of scams and a lot of misappropriation of capital that was raised. But but there's a single important principle that I follow myself as a participant of tokens and buying into new projects and stuff, is I really look into the teams, and I look at teams when they go through rough periods and rough patches of time. So going into 2017, it was one of the craziest years. Hype, hype, hype. Early 2018 was fantastic too. It all started going downhill. Mid to late 2018, 19 was a depression. But coming out of that and going into 2020, one of the things that I looked back at was who survived that really rough patch, because it takes a lot of discipline, a lot of belief in yourself, a belief in the project, a lot of principle on how to maintain a good company, how to maintain cash flow. It's a significant management, sort of challenge to survive those periods of time that are difficult. And to see the teams that come out of it very stronger than they went in when the bull market was there, is a true credit of the quality of that project. And so I generally look at that and assess that. And so when I had met Mintlayer and I met Enrico, it wasn't the prettiest of times for the token. Um, it was difficult. They launched in a bear market, you could say, and despite all the odds, and the challenges of the years that came, and it's been 2 3 years now. Um, these they've come out stronger, and you talk to Enrico today, and he's more enthusiastic and more has a bigger belief in the system more than ever. So that's a really important core, a very important observation, I think, when you're looking at projects, because it's really easy to give up, and it's really easy to just quit and call it quits and move on, and you can, and a lot of people do. But the ones that truly believe in this future, and be it Bitcoin economy or whatever they're doing in the world, the ones that really believe in it, that really have their heart and soul engraved into their mission, they'll get through those rough patches. And I think Mintlayer has been one of those projects. So, and they generally perform the best too, because it's a test of time, and when you pass that test, you can beat anything. So I have high hopes for Mintlayer for those reasons, and that if Mintlayer was able to survive that journey in the last 2 3 years, imagine what it's capable of in the next 2 3 5 and 20 years.
Brilliant. Anything to add to that, Enrico? That's fantastic. Because again, the message there is one of patience.
Yeah, I can say I'm a builder, so my concern is not about I just keep building, and I don't care about anything else. And for example, we just launched the mainnet, and we are already working on the layer 3. So And I have a lot of confidence that the layer 3 will be a game changer in our chain, for example, because one thing that I notice is, so you can already do a lot of stuff with the Mintlayer as is today. The problem is that you, as a developer, you need to change your perspective how to do things, and most of the developers today in the blockchain space are used to have this Solidity smart contract and stuff, and the layer 3 will be EVM compatible, so it will, you could bring all the projects that are already deployed on other chain on top of Mintlayer as well, for example, right? Without compromising the security, because this was one of my personal pillar in the development of Mintlayer, right? I wanted to create something that is secure. It's very hard to hack, and we saw a lot of, for example, the absence of a bridge. Now we have the bridge from the ERC20 to the, I'm not talking about that, but I'm talking about the Bitcoin, right? So we are using atomic swap for a reason, right? So the atomic swap means that you don't have to compromise the security of your Bitcoin. This is one of the pillar on which we build Mintlayer, right? And so the core, I think, is absolutely secure, and obviously only time will tell. But this is what we try to do, right? And something that is absolutely solid, and building something on top of that have a different trade-off is the best, in my opinion, solution. So you will get the best of many things, right? Something that is rock solid. You can do RVA, real world asset, today on the Mint layer, right? You can do a lot of stuff. You can do tokenization. You can do a lot of stuff. If you want to run the more complicated DeFi smart contract, then you have the layer 3, right? So borrowing and lending and AMM and stuff, these are nice things to have, right? This is interesting, but you cannot do that with Mintlayer for a reason. We want to have something that is solid. So, you want to do that? Okay, just move your stuff on the layer 3, and then you can do whatever you want, and then you can go back and have something solid. Then so you have basically two wallets. One is for saving and one is for trading, for example.
Fantastic.
So that's my view, and this is how I look at the future, right? So
fantastic. I mean, I'm not going to put you on the spot, but that layer 3 is super exciting. Any timelines for it? I know we're fully.
Developers say that after the summer, but I don't believe developers. I'm a developer myself, so it's.
Let me.
I know us, so we.
Brilliant answer. I think so I'm gonna throw one to Zaid. Our communities are super excited because I think almost everybody in our communities, and again, it's in Dubai, myself and my good friend Siprel, who's actually Italian, who's based in Dubai, another influencer, who are massive backers of the ecosystem, and almost everybody's staking it. So this announcement is for you, Zaid, to take away. You got the airdrop coming. Everybody in our communities has been staking now since we went to mainnet. We've done most of the bridging. Actually, the bridging as well, fantastic work in the sense that we had more exchanges added to the roster of native chain supporters. So the last one being Mexi, along with Gate, along with Bitmart. So there's a growing list there. How do we go about what happens in terms of, do they get the airdrop in the Mojito wallet? How does it happen?
Yeah, absolutely. So Atomiq is going to be minted on the Mintlayer protocol. Therefore, will be a native natively will be a Mintlayer based token, an MLS standard token. Now, for purposes of exchanges and launch pads and some of the things that are upcoming in the Atomiq roadmap, there will be a bridge to facilitate transfers or bridging between the Mintlayer mainnet and Ethereum to sort of, unlock some opportunities that have not integrated into the Mintlayer mainnet just yet. But natively it is going to be a Mintlayer token. Therefore, as it stands, the Mojito wallet right now is going to be your wallet of choice to receive this airdrop. The details on how that distribution will happen will be revealed in time. But the beautiful thing about Mintlayer is how efficient and almost cost free it is to interact and transact on the network. And so the airdrop is going to be an easy one and a smooth one to deliver. Thanks to that, imagine if we had to do that on Ethereum today, we'd be bleeding and crying about it. But it's not protocol. So as long as you have your wallets set up, which you all will, because the participants of this airdrop are going to be stakers, and so there will be that screen, that sort of what do you call it, market shot of the wallets that are participating, and in time, once the cliff is completed, there will be a distribution to all of the wallets that met the criteria and are being awarded the Atomiq token. I hope that answers the question.
Well, it does. I think the snapshot. So, guys, if you've got 100 Mintlayer or more, get it staking now, because I don't think you've done the snapshot yet.
No,
and we participated to the next week. It would be from June 10th, right?
Correct. Correct. Yeah, 10th.
We participated a week to give more time to people to prepare because of we changed some rules, so it made sense, right?
Brilliant.
And then we will snapshot every day, and this is something that we got a lot of questions on. So it's an average. So let's say that you stake 100 for 2 weeks instead of 4, it counts like 50 instead of 100. If you stake 100 for the whole time, it will count as 100.
Brilliant. So that's super excited. So there's an extension of that until next week, guys. Please get them staked as the snapshot goes on for another week. Fantastic stuff, guys. Look, we're coming on to the home stretch, and I know you are incredibly busy. In fact, I've been hustling my way into this AMA for months now. Token 24 was where I was talking to Enrico about coming, but I needed a boat, so I couldn't.
Exactly. That was terrible.
To see you guys. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to give an opportunity. Just pick out a couple of questions from our audience, and you can see here we have many people that are absolutely supporting you. I think with leaders like yourself is obviously you're here to face the difficulties. We are now, like I said, 80-20. Be patient, because the last 20% in any bull market has always historically brought more gains than you can ever imagine. And the other argument is when you go 50% drawdown, or let's say a 5,000 portfolio or investment, it can look like a lot. But one of the things that normally misses from the psychology is, and again, because we've been in this space longer, people don't actually know what a 10,000, what a 1,000, 5,000% or 3,000% upside is. And one of the things I'm looking to do is actually make that very clear by going back to historical data, what happened at alt season in the last, and this is of course a bigger bull run. So I'm gonna show you some of the comments here of everybody. I mean, I think that's bearish in my opinion. I don't expect the founders to give a specific price target. But yeah, so again, a Manchester City fan over here. Good question here. Ask about the American exchange listings for ML. I mean, native probably network. Do we have any?
We have a legal opinion that goes to the Huawei test as well, and clean. Technically, we're clean, but still, until we have some security in the sense of the behavior of the regulator in the US is clear. I think we want to stay away from American exchanges
for now.
Absolutely. Yeah. I hope this will change, because I think the American are missing something at the moment, you cannot try to stop a revolution like this, I think, for a long time. But let's see.
Let's see where that goes.
We got the ETF, so it's a good sign. Let's see what happens.
Fantastic. Huge conviction on Mintlayer here because of DXP. Thank you, my brother. Second biggest holding, and looking to move to Dubai. Fantastic.
You're welcome. Dubai is an amazing city.
All three of us are residents here, so I'm sure we'll take good care of you, Tony. Wow, let's go, guys. This is fantastic. So you can see, guys, you have many supporters. That's why I actually thought doing this, just to give you guys an opportunity to get a different vibe, because again, being developers, being builders, being creators, understanding what we have on the street is always good. Ear to the street. So now you're seeing firsthand what we do here. Kumar said, any update on more listings of tier 1 and tier 2 upcoming, like Binance, Coinbase, KuCoin? Coinbase is out of the list.
We would love to be everywhere. And I think I hope it's just a matter of time. But obviously, we cannot disclose anything. We are in discussion. I can tell you we're in discussion with basically everyone. But we cannot disclose anything because you know how they work, right? So if you announce something, they just stop talking to you, and it's better not to. So we cannot say anything.
Absolutely. You're getting more support here, guys. Fantastic. We've answered the exchange listings. The guys are talking. More on the way. Yes, Cyril. So this is an interesting brother, and I think myself and Cyril have been holding the fort many months now. So yeah, big shout out to you, brother, for having conviction. Only people with guts believe in good things. So good things will come to us for sure. Needs to garner more attention. Absolutely. Mr. Mayerson, and perhaps you can spread that news in the States. Ronald is one of my guys from the US, and right now we have to sneak behind to buy crypto in a funny way, but definitely I think the Mintlayer is going to catch on. There is another interesting comment here, guys. And check this out. Will always be a great project. I think, look, that's the sentiment. Perhaps it's not something you guys hear every day because you're so busy. But this is what we talk about. And again, when we have difficult questions, we will put to you. I think I have one myself, which is a misunderstanding of the tokenomics. Perhaps maybe you could give us a snapshot of the 10-year lockup period, because I don't think for most investors this cycle, I've always said there's nothing to worry about here because the unlocks are kind of small and we've got at least 200 million as ecosystem rewards. What's your take on that in terms of the overall tokenomics and vesting schedule?
Are you talking about Mintlayer or
Mintlayer, yeah,
Mintlayer?
Mintlayer.
So I was not really involved in the tokenomics, but I think at the end of the day, I'm not really concerned in the sense that the market will do whatever it does, right? So we had a lot. We many people contributed to Mintlayer many years ago, and probably now they want to sell because they want to change. It's part of the normal cycle, right? And I think as is today, the majority of the unlock are related to the team or related to the very last part of the liquidity and the stuff. So I don't know what is the question exactly, because there's it's hard to discuss that.
I
And
guess it's just market, like you've answered it very well. I think market dynamics
yeah.
sometimes take over, and so far we've not seen an alt season, in my opinion, anyway. So we just need to build a buy pressure, essentially, because what we have is we've got a market that broke all time highs for Bitcoin. Bitcoin dominance still way up there. So
Yeah. Yeah.
when alt season, but that's a different question. There's another comment here for you guys. Great team, and this is something that I can testify to, especially with the level of transparency, the level of communication. A team, that's always open into coming on here. You don't judge by channel size or whatever. Whenever somebody's asking a question, so yeah, take your flowers when you can, guys. I think it's always much needed to have this type of sentiment, definitely. So let's see what else is there for you. Okay, Gareth said, how do you see the competition for Bitcoin L2s?
Well, it's a nice one. Obviously, it's where we are in. There are many projects, not so many in production, many ideas. Well, I'm biased, but I think we have the better solution. But I'm biased, so don't listen to that. It's at the end of the day, it's about creating the ecosystem and creating a good solution and surviving the bear markets, and yeah, that's it. And for example, I think it's very important, the fact that, as I said before, we don't want to compromise Bitcoin security. So we don't have a wrapped version of Bitcoin on Mintlayer. That doesn't mean that it's not possible to do it. But I think the best way to, let's say that you have a stable coin, right? On Mintlayer, and you have Bitcoin, and you want to, for example, okay, there's a bull market. I want to, save some of my Bitcoin and buy a stable coin. Today, you have to go through a centralized exchange. With Mintlayer, you can do it through the Atomiq swap without compromising the security of your Bitcoin. So it will not. I don't need to move my Bitcoin into a federation. I don't need to move my Bitcoin to, a custodian that takes. At the end of the day, is the same security level of an exchange, right? If the bridge is hacked, I lost everything. So, and as a Bitcoiner, I'm very worried about that. Is I will never, I let's say, as a Bitcoiner, I tend to not do that. So I'm putting my Bitcoiner hat on, and I think, okay, why would I, use this layer 2 where I have to put my Bitcoin into a federation? And that's why I think Mintlayer makes the difference. I would just swap my Bitcoin from my Mojito wallet to a stable coin or to something else. Maybe a real world assets like real estate, right? So one day when we will have real world assets on real estate,
Brilliant.
sooner than later, I hope.
Fantastic. Another one. Any improvements to Mojito? Now we have mainnet.
Yeah, well, the idea is to, we are several years behind, for example, MetaMask, right? MetaMask is an autonomous company, and it's a whole company and probably a dozen of developers on that, and we are several years behind. But that's the direction: is to create something that is easy to use, and this is very important for us. At the moment, whatever we did is not very user friendly, and this is our weakness. We need to make everything more user friendly, and this is why we need help from Zaid, because we think that Zaid will improve this part of the ecosystem.
Fantastic. Well, no pressure there, Zaid. Any competition, guys, in your eyes?
Main
Competition is
competition,
healthy.
yeah.
It's healthy. We this this Bitcoin economy right now. And the whole BRC movement, the ordinals, all of that sort of stuff. It's brought a lot of attention to projects building in the Bitcoin arena, but it doesn't solve. If anything, it's sort of complicated it because it's you know that stuff isn't really scalable. And when you're trying to when you look at the future about how do you scale DeFi with Bitcoin and all that sort of that narrative, um, those solutions that have come out, they're mimicky, they're fun, they're good to play with and dab, but they're not the answer. But what it has done is it's brought a lot of attention to the sphere, and I think that's been really healthy and that's been a big positive. But we are encouraging competition. We want more participants to come in and do something in the Bitcoin arena. We want to incubate some of those projects, and some other projects will be incubated by other leaders as well, and that's totally cool. But I think the more and sooner we can mature together and develop and grow together, the better it is for everyone and for all Web3 citizens, including ourselves. And it's a massive pie for everyone to share. And so I haven't been shy, or I've been very vocal, to be honest, with my venture capitalists and all that. Listen, if you're investing in other projects that are doing anything in Bitcoin, we want to talk to them. We want to partner with them. We want to collaborate. And this is why we have so many announcements coming out with Mintlayer and Atomiq with new projects in Bitcoin, because everyone's a friend of ours. If you're doing building on Bitcoin or with Bitcoin, or you're doing something meaningful in the Bitcoin sphere, we want to be working with you. And so hopefully we see just more and more of that every day, because the market opportunity in Bitcoin is a $1 trillion opportunity right now. In a few years, and if the movement continues strong, the whole Ethereum ecosystem is going to look like a raindrop in the scheme of things. It's there's so much more to do with Bitcoin and Bitcoin than other EVMs can ever imagine.
Fantastic. We're getting support.
If I can name a project I love, is Stacks, for example.
Oh, Stacks. Fantastic. Yes. I mean, what do you think of the recent wallet hack on Alex Labs? That's
I don't
still
know about that.
Oh, you okay? Okay, so there's been a compromise, but big shout out to all of us from Dynex, by the way. Another great project that our friends Big Yeti in the channel. I have something else for you. So again, this is fantastic to hear. The staking pool, so he must be waiting for a nice juicy airdrop on Atomiq. Holdo, fantastic, brother. Keep stacking. We've answered this. Will the Atomiq airdrop instantly appear in every Mojito wallet that's staking right now?
Correct.
Zaid, yep.
Well,
brilliant.
when the unlocking happens and the terms are met, yes, they will be distributed to those wallets. So you don't need to worry.
Yeah, the token doesn't exist yet, so it will be after TGA.
Yes. Yes, 3 months cliff. I think it's 12 months equal vest, from what I can gather, which is brilliant. My conviction in ML is expanding every minute that passes in this interview. I'm really that was the whole point.
I love your community. I mean, thank you, everyone.
and by the way, guys, we've had our ups and downs, and again, this is why I wanted to invite you, because sometimes you come into these AMAs and it's just kind of more business like, but really just to get to know the two of you will do a lot for the community. And let's go through the final few, because I know we are just a few minutes away. Like I said, guys, this is not the only time that the legends will be back here. But just your closing remarks, guys. I mean, I do have other questions, but I can see here also there's a lot of praise. I can't go through hundreds of these. I'm sure your time will be valuable. Where do we go from here? I mean, what are we going to look forward to? We have the airdrop. We have the layer 3. This is all exclusive, by the way, guys. Where do you see us going? And yeah, I'll probably start with you, Zaid.
Well, for Atomiq, the most exciting thing for us is being that first mover, having that first. The Mintlayer protocol, Mintlayer team has been building this technology for over 2 years, and they've worked really hard at it. And us taking that to the forefront and slapping a beautiful UX layer, a layer that's very intuitive and experience, an interface and an experience that's really easy for everyone to use, is our core objective at the moment. That's what we're working on every day, every night, and so for me, most exciting thing in the near future is actually launching these products and getting them in your hands and getting them into your hands on that beta testing. We will be, welcoming and inviting the Mintlayer family to be testing it first before it's open to the public. And so everything from the launch pad to the wallet to the bridge and then of course the DEX, which is the ultimate prize. It's in the developments are already kicked off. Some of these products are actually quite near delivery and launch, which is really exciting. And so just seeing that come to life, and I think I'm sure for Enrico, seeing 2-3 years of hardcore developments come to life and then see people use it is going to be a really exciting milestone to unlock. So I'm grateful for all your support and everyone that believes in our mission, everyone that believes in Atomiq and the Mintlayer ecosystem. Just can't wait to have you involved with all these product launches and also the campaign that we are in the midst of with selling tokens and launching the token and then the TGE and hopefully the exchange listings and all that. So a lot is going to happen. There's going to be KOL activations, influencer activations really soon. So the word is going to get out there, hopefully hopefully virally in the near future. And so we're working really hard on a campaign for that as well. But you'll all be the first to hear about it when it happens.
Fantastic. No, that's brilliant. That's reassuring. And it really is a good time to be alive, I would say, in this moment here right now. And Enrico, I'll hand over the closing remarks to you because I think there's a lot going on here. You've got too many announcements.
Yeah. So I think the most important in terms of technology, I think the part we didn't discuss is about the onboarding of real world asset. This, as I said, is something I really, really love, but it's extremely complicated. And again, it's not technical complication, but it's compliance stuff. But that's something I'm personally working on, and hoping to create something that makes sense and makes the difference. And also, I want to invite everyone to think about being an ambassador of Mintlayer. And there's news in the website, and if they want to help us, that's the best way.
Yes.
There's a form you can somewhere you click, and you can apply, and then you can become an ambassador.
Absolutely.
And actually, there's a lot of alpha here, so I'm going to drop this into the chat. Any ambassadors are welcome, as the guys are saying, and you can see here the form lives on that link that I've just shared with you guys, which is really, really cool. And you can actually just enroll it. I mean, the website is it's done really, really well. Well, I guess that is that is all for this episode. But guys, don't be strangers. We're going to invite you back in a time of green candles, and the sentiment will be even more euphoric.
Absolutely.
I grew up in the UK, and they will say an apple a day keeps the doctor away. And my saying in crypto is a green candle a day keeps the mental health doctor away.
That's a good one. You say the same in Italian, by the way. Yeah.
It's true.
Absolutely. Yeah. So on that note, guys, smash a like, follow the channel. These guys are fully doxed, and this is not a Mickey Mouse meme or shady project that's launching a deep in. This is the real DeFi. Mintlayer, Enrico, thank you. Zaid, thank you. And we look forward to having you back, guys.
Thank you, everyone.
I appreciate your time. Thank you so much for hosting us, and
cheers,
to all the community. Thank you.
Thank you so much. God bless.
See you.
See you.